Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can everybody hear me? Janny in the back, can you hear me? Oh, good. Well, good afternoon, Long Beach City College. It is a delight to see so many bright, shining faces, even though there are a bunch of empty seats in the front row. I'll try not to take that personally. I did shower, so I guess teachers are more like students in some ways, huh? I see there's not an empty seat in the back row, but the front rows are open. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Long Beach City College on behalf of our Board of Trustees, our Superintendent President Eloy Oakley, and to the Long Beach College Promise Faculty Symposium. This is really an event set up for faculty, about faculty, and it's delighted. We received at this event and the number of faculty who are here today. So we'll just click through to the next slide. Quick overview where we're going today. Welcome. I'm not a teacher by trade. I'm an administrator. I know that's a bad word in some. I know. But I've been told that it's good instructional practice to do a pre-assessment to see where we begin. We're going to start with the pre-assessment today. We'll do a quick overview of the Long Beach College Promise, what we've done so far. We have our three institution leaders here to talk briefly, or at least those are my instructions. We're going to talk about a new program here at Long Beach City College, the Promise Pathways, and then I'm going to bring up the facilitators for the breakout sessions, and we're going to give you some instructions as one big group you loose to do the important work today, which is really going to happen when English language arts and math faculty get together across, talk about strategies students be successful. So we distributed, we have 100. Unfortunately, we have more than 100 people, but if you have one of these magic clickers, you're going to be able to participate directly in our pre-assessment. So I think we have 5 questions. Can we give, this is Myra, everybody. Say hello. She's one of the very talented folks who works in the MESS department here, which is Media Equipment Services, something or other.
Multimedia Equipment Service and Support.
Right, MESS. So she is the person who took a plain old PowerPoint and made it an interactive marvel, and she's actually going to help us today. So why don't we go to question number 1. The first question is, which institutions compose, or the Long Beach College Promise is composed of the following institutions. So you can see A, B, C, or D. Those of you with a clicker, please register your choice. All right. How many do we have?
We're up to 55.
55. Come on. There should be 100 out there. Oh, here we go. 72. Dwayne, did you click? All right, let's see.
All right.
And the survey says 80%. That's right. B, the Long Beach College Promise. The Long Beach College Promise is composed of Long Beach Unified, Cal State Long Beach. Some SC fan, I'm sure. I threw that in just because I figured some of the SC folks would vote for SC anyway. All right, so that's a great showing, 80%. Let's go to question number 2. This is a technical question. Long Beach College Promise has 4 initiative groups. So why don't we take a look and see what you think the primary initiatives that we're working on as part of the College Promise. Ooh, they're slow this time.
Read every answer twice.
I'll give you 5 more seconds. All right, let's see what it says. Oh, we have a split. The correct answer is A. The 4 main initiatives and the 4 sort of key initiatives we've been working on for the last few years through the Long Beach College Promise are preparation for college, counseling initiative, trying to align the academic advising and other sorts of advising that goes on between the three institutions, expanding pathways, which is really CTE and other sorts of alignment around career themes. And the last one is sharing successful practices for post-secondary success. So, A, although the Promise Pathways is important. So we'll hear more about that later. Question 3. How many students benefited from the Long Beach College Promise in 2009, which is the last year we have actually comprehensive data? This should be an easy one, folks. Go ahead. The survey says, yeah, D, all of the above. And actually, that date's incorrect. This is 2010 data. Last year, over 500 students received the College Promise Scholarship through Long Beach City College. Long Beach City College has raised $6.5 million, actually more than that, to provide a scholarship to every local high school graduate who enrolls here. 615 students out of nearly 1,200 who were accepted decided to attend Cal State Long Beach immediately after graduation. 1,647 students came directly to Long Beach City College in the fall. So actually all of the above, which begins to show a pretty significant impact that this program has for the students in our area. Question 4. So which students received the College Promise? If you were listening carefully, you might have heard the answer. Which students received the Promise Scholarship and what does it cover? Okay, a couple more seconds. All right, let's see what it says. Yes, the correct answer is C. So that's good. All Long Beach Unified students do have their fees covered, but it's only for 1 semester. But we actually, for the Promise Scholarship, include a slightly larger selection of schools. It's all Long Beach Unified, as well as the privates, so St. Anthony's, St. Joseph's, and we also include Mayfair, because technically Mayfair is in our attendance area. So that was sort of a trick question, highly technical. Alicia Kryzinga, our scholarship director, has drilled that information in my head, though. So, all right, and our final question. Which percentage of LBUSD graduates who attended college did so at LBCC or CSUSD? Again, this is 2010. Okay, let's see. Oh wow, we have a split. That's interesting. The correct answer is C. Yeah. It's 11%. 11% of their graduates go directly to Cal State Long Beach. About 39% end up coming to Long Beach City College. So 1 out of every 2 Long Beach Unified graduates who attend college is coming to institutions. What? Who picked the King's fixated on? I'm sure it was Dwayne. So anyway, thank you. Why don't we? So go ahead. Let's go to the next slide. So briefly, the Long Beach College Promise grew out of the Seamless Education Partnership. which started long before when I was still actually in school, which was in 1994. It was graduate school. Graduate school. But in March of 2008, so we'll be celebrating our 4th anniversary this coming March, we got together and really refocused the Seamless Education Partnership all around the idea of college access, or preparation, access, and really completion. And so the 3 institutions have been working seamlessly for a long time, but really focused the effort around preparation, access, and completion, and codified that in Long Beach College Promise. And that promise has been replicated really, literally across the state and across the country. Next slide. So the organizational structure, we have the executive committee who we'll hear from today. There's a leadership council that's co-chaired by Dr. Greg Peterson from our campus, Chris Dominguez from Long Beach Unified, and Gene Hauk, who I haven't seen tonight, from Cal State Long Beach. And then it's a host of other folks who meet regularly, monthly actually, throughout the school year to organize the work. And then we see here the 4 College Promise initiatives: preparation for college success, which really focuses on assessment and aligning of coursework between the secondary institutions and post-secondary institutions, tries to make that a seamless and an easy process for students. Counseling initiative, which aligns counseling language and lingo, which is different between the 3 institutions, tries to make sure that we understand the expectations and the practices between the 3 institutions so that we can communicate that information effectively to students. Expanding pathways is really building off the work that the Chris's have done and Natter in Long Beach Unified to build career expectations into all the small learning communities and make sure that there are pathways into higher education around those career themes in the 15 different sectors that we're working that are in our economy. And finally, post-secondary success, really focusing on what we can do once students are here, the practices that once students are here in our institutions will help them persist and actually complete or transfer. The next slide. So I wanted to just share a resource with you. We launched this at our 3rd anniversary. It's a unified website that all 3 institutions collaborate on and make an attempt to have a single place and a single repository for information. It's a somewhat long title, but I think it's intuitive, longbeachcollegepromise.org. If you go to that site, I won't do it now, but if you go to that site, you'll find information especially designed for students, for parents, and we're working on a page dedicated to information for educators. But it's designed to be a handy one-stop place. So if somebody wants to know what we're doing, and tell them what, and again, from whatever their perspective is, this is a place, and it will provide links as well to each of the 3 institution pages. So if somebody wants to know more about the Long Beach College Promise Scholarship, they can start here and find easy access. If they want to understand the preferential admissions policies for local area students to Cal State Long Beach, they can find that information here and get directed to the appropriate resource. If they want to understand what we're doing to help students prepare starting in 4th and 5th grade all the way through school at Long Beach Unified. Again, you can find those resources here, designed for parents, students, and soon for educators. So this is really a useful tool for you. And if you look at your bag, you don't have to write it down because the outside of your bag, which you all got today, has this website. But this is really an important resource that everybody should look at. I think we've been trying to use it. It might be on your folder as well. So anyway, I just wanted to highlight this as a resource for folks, as a place to go, because one of the things we're hoping to do through this faculty system, and this is hopefully the first time that you will have an opportunity to work together on this, but we also have other groups of faculty, CTE faculty, STEM faculty. So our hope is that we'll continue to involve faculty across the 3 institutions in future years so that everyone becomes more aware of what we're doing and contributes and sort of owns part of the promise, because it really is a national model, and it's something that we've seen already is doing great things. So at this point in time, I'm going to stop talking. I'm sure it's a relief to all of you, and bring up our 3 institution leaders who are going to share their perspectives on the promise and talk about their institutional commitments. They've agreed to take questions, so I'm going to pass out some cards. So if you have a question that you'd like to address to any one of these folks, you can start preparing those while we're talking, and then when we're done, depending on time, we'll have some questions afterwards. So I think we're going to go in order as usual. So Chris, it's my pleasure to introduce Superintendent Chris Steinhauser.
Thanks, Mark. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to our partners at Long Beach City College for hosting us. This is a beautiful event venue, and it's just really exciting. This partnership is so unique, and I had to thank you on behalf of all of our parents and kids, because I had a parent come to me at my parent forum and said, Mr. Steinhauser, is it true that there's a guaranteed place for my child? This is a parent of a fifth grader at Cal State Long Beach. And I said, yes. And then they said, is it true if I go to City College, my child goes to City, that the first semester is free? And I said, yes. And this is a family that the parent didn't graduate from high school. And they want a better life for their youngsters. And that's what all of us went into education about. And you're making it happen every single day. I got a call from San Francisco Alliance for Education, and they have a $5 million grant from the Gates Foundation. And I was telling Eloy and King, they said, we heard about this Long Beach College Promise, and we have something like it, but it's not working as well as yours. And I said, well, if you give us $2 million, we'll show you really fast. And I did. I said, you're more than welcome to come down and visit, but could you imagine what we could do with just a small piece of that? Eloy and I were saying we need to charge a fee for the folks. But seriously, we want to get resources, because what you're all doing without extra money is really changing the lives of thousands and thousands of kids and giving them the American dream. And I just want to share some data with you. Some new data came out that said that 79% of our youngsters in Long Beach Unified are in college today. As you saw, 50% of them are going to Long Beach City and to Cal State Long Beach. And what's really impressive about this data, number one, it beats the state data. The state's around 74%. But even more importantly, every one of our subgroups, African American, Hispanic, EL, poor students, special needs students, all beat the state by huge numbers. And that's phenomenal. You should be very proud of that. And that's not easy. And we still have a long way to go, because in Long Beach Unified, 82% of our students graduated last year. And of that 82%, 79% of them are in college today. And I know my youngest is graduating this year from San Francisco State, and I'm paying my last tuition check. I told her she's leaving. It's over. 5 years. It took 5 years, King. I got to work on this thing. But no, I had to tell you, thank you for taking such a chunk of time out of your personal lives to come here. It shows your dedication. It really does. Because at the end of the day, we're all tired. It's hard. But I want to thank all of you, and especially on behalf of our parents. I can't how pleased they are for everything that you're doing. You don't get to see that all the time. I get to do that, especially when the fourth graders come here to City College, or the fifth graders go to Cal State Long Beach. They think that I own Cal State Long Beach, and I have this beautiful pool and this beautiful student union. And I said, no, that's not mine. That's President Alexander's. But no, seriously, thank you. And let's just keep up the good work. And we really do need to sell our story, because we need these resources in these tight times so that we can continue the good work. So, President Oakley, it's yours.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris. And it's great to see you all here. This is something that we've been talking about for a long time, to actually have in one room all the people that make it happen in Long Beach. And you all are the ones who make it happen. As Chris said, you know, we get to run around. If that's for me, I'm not here. We get to run around and talk about the work that you do, and to hear all the people marvel about the work that you do and ask, how can we do this in our community? And I realize that on any given day, you come to work and you wonder, you know, how much crazier your life could get in your jobs. You know, you wonder how much more you can take. You wonder if things will ever get fixed in our system of public education. But what you don't see, being stuck in the trenches, is that the work that you're doing is beginning to move in that direction. It is beginning to move in that direction. And, you know, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, you will see progressively generations of students who will benefit by the work that you're going to be doing today. So I encourage you, I implore you, and I thank you for the conversations that you're going to have together as faculty. I will pause for a second and just begin by letting you know that I'm a bit flustered today. not because of the Santa Anas, but because two of my high school teachers are here today that I just saw for the first time in years. Miss Brennan, Mr. Vitale, will you please stand so that I can hold you responsible? So everything that I don't do well, you can blame those two in the back. No, seriously, I don't know how Miss Brennan does at Poly, but when she was at Pius X High School, you did not want to go into her office. But seriously, you know, we're at a moment in time when, you know, the wheels are coming off the bus right now. We all see that every day. We pick up the news. You hear it every time you turn on the TV. The state is in crisis. The country's in crisis. The world's in crisis. The only recipe for this state's success going forward is the work that we do here. How are we going to educate the students that are in our institutions, prepare them to compete in this economy, and help our state and our country become more competitive and successful so that our institutions can once again receive the revenue that we all deserve? That's the challenge that's before us. And I know some of us become cynical in our jobs. Some of us, you know, have plenty to complain about. But I hope that on this issue and on this initiative, we can put all that baggage aside and just focus on the students that are in our institutions. They deserve our very best every single day. They deserve our best. They deserve an opportunity to have the barriers that we put in front of them, many times that we put in front of them, for us to tear those down. Now, I agree that a lot of the responsibility is also on them and their parents, and we need to continue to do everything we can to assist them so that they can grow and develop the responsibility and the skills that they need to persist and succeed. But everything else, you know, is in our hands. So I very much look forward to the work that you all are going to do. I think that we have a tremendous opportunity here in the city of Long Beach with these three institutions to really become a leader in the state in terms of how we look at public education. Yes, we need more money. Yes, we need more of a lot of things. A lot of those things are not in our control right now, but what we do have control over is how we work together and how we come together to focus on our students. So thank you for being here today, and I certainly will, as I know I speak for my other two colleagues, give you 110% of our support to help our students succeed, because they are our future, and we have an opportunity to help them become more successful. So thank you for coming to Long Beach. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, and look forward to interacting with all of you.
I'm interrupting with a brief bit of housekeeping. If you have questions, there are cards that are being passed around, but you also all have lovely Promise Pathways notepads. So if you have a question, just write it down on any piece of paper that you have, and if you'll pass them to the end, obviously we can't come to the middle to pick them up, but if we'll pass them in, that way we can start collecting them and having them ready. So any questions, just please pass them to the end so they can be easily done. And now it's my pleasure to introduce President F. King Alexander from Cal State Long Beach. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Eloy, for providing the facility, and this really is a wonderful day for us to get everybody together. We've got our faculty and our deans I see here, and just what has been accomplished here actually is quite remarkable. If you think about it, we have more children in the Long Beach Unified School District than Boston, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Detroit. And most people don't know that. Nearly 90,000 children on the way, and we have every conceivable child from free lunch to you name it. English is a second language at home. I mean, the challenges are as difficult here as they are anywhere in the United States. College going rates are higher. or much higher would be the fact that last 3 years significantly in the students college from Long Beach Unified on to Long Beach City College onto our campus. The fact that throughout California, about 75% of our students take the early assessment placement exam, which you know it very well. That tells you at the end of your junior year whether you're college ready in math and English. And so you can actually put more rigor into your senior year in math and English if you are indeed behind. 97% of our students, juniors, take it. And that simply was a conversation between the three of us about seeing if you can mandate a voluntary exam. And we're the only school district that's actually mandated a voluntary exam. It's proven effective. It's been throughout state legislatures throughout the United States who are also in the process of implementing the same thing. Secretary Margaret Spellings mentioned it as one of the best programs by itself in the United States and needs to be duplicated. Just to share with you some of the accolades of our progress and why it's so remarkable of what you've been able to do. The McKinsey & Company, the great business consulting firm, rated 20 school districts as the most improved school districts in the world this past year. 3 were in the United States, 1 was in Long Beach. The partnerships that we have here. You are to be commended and thanked for this. The Eli Broad Foundation, many of you know that Eli Broad ranks the top 5 urban school districts in the nation. In a row, 5 years in a row, Long Beach Unified has been first, second, third, or fourth. And there's only one other school district, Boston, that has been in that top 5 that many times. These are great. About 8 months ago, President Oakley, Superintendent Steinhauser, and myself were invited to Washington to present in the White House to the Department of Education and others about this partnership and why it's so special. And we thought we were going there to present with a whole bunch of school districts. It was just us. It was just us explaining how remarkable this is. We've spoken to Des Moines, Iowa, Louisville, Kentucky, Atlanta, Georgia, Fresno, San Diego, San Francisco, and they're all calling to try to figure out why it works so well, and it's because of the people in this room, and it's because of something else. I do believe we are all part of the same school system. We all believe this. We're part of the public school system. Every one of these systems, Long Beach Unified, the Long Beach Unified School District, Long Beach Community College, City College here, our university at Cal State Long Beach are operating with about $3,000 less per student than our counterparts throughout the nation. But that's not our children's fault. Now, you could argue maybe their parents. Increasingly, I'm thinking it's a lot more to do with the parents and the others. But it's not the kids' fault. It is not the kids' fault. It is remarkable what gets accomplished at City College. It's remarkable what gets accomplished in the Unified School District. And I'm in our schools quite a bit. I've got Rogers. I've got 2 at Wilson. And nobody thinks about this, but nobody even realizes this or makes it a big issue. You know, Wilson's the smallest public high school in Long Beach. They have 4,500 students. It was built for 2,500 kids. 2,500 kids. Nobody flinches an eye about the fact that we've got more students than virtually every school district. These schools are some of the largest schools in America, if not the very largest. I went to the largest public high school in Florida. We had 3,500 kids at the time. These sizes, California ranks #1 in the nation in students to teacher ratios now. We moved this past year. The budget cuts that we had to endure, that we watched our partners have to endure. We watched kindergartens go from an average of about 24-1 to 39-1 in kindergarten. The national average is 23-1. If we don't do this, our kids don't stand a chance. If we don't create pathways and innovate and swap ideas and try new things, share data, follow each other and work together, our kids don't stand a chance. It's an economic issue for the city and the region. They don't succeed, but more importantly, it's a humane issue. It's an issue of humane treatment of children and their fundamental right to have a good quality education. So we keep doing what we're doing, and it's because of you. And I just want to thank you because this is truly remarkable. A, that we're in the same room together. B, that we share data together. C, that your kids come onto our campus and our kids go onto your campuses. And it's all seamless. And somebody can say, well, the test scores might not have been as good this year as last year. Well, they keep going up in our school district. However, there is no blame to go around here because our teachers are in the schools. Our administrators are the principals and the assistant principals. We are sharing the same people. We have the same problems and we have the same issues, and every one of these are our kids. That we have an economic obligation and a fundamental humane obligation to help them succeed and give them the pathways, despite what Sacramento does to us, despite what the outside world keeps hammering. We say, just give us what you gave us last year and leave us alone. We'll make it work, and we'll make it work better than anybody in the nation, and that's what everybody's coming to us to find out why it's happening. It's because of the people in this room. Lieutenant Governor last week asked me, he said, what's going on in Long Beach is fantastic. I'm from San Francisco. We have a version of nowhere near what's going on in Long Beach. Can you get everybody in the state to do what you're doing? And I looked at him and said, that's not our problem. That's their problem. They need to do what we're doing. We'll help them, but it's not our obligation to bring them all together so that they can work together like we work together. So this is not only a significant economic issue for the future of Long Beach and the surrounding area, but it is a humane issue. It's a civil rights issue. It's all the above because of each one of these kids. They're our kids, and they deserve any way possible. The ideas we put on the table to smooth these pathways to make sure that they graduate from college. And I mean graduate. Today, a student has to graduate and finish what they start. They've never had less economic opportunity today in the history of America if they don't finish what they start. The economists said it best. They said, does Horatio Alger exist in America today? And the answer was, yeah, but Horatio has to go to college first. I'd say Horatio has to finish college also. That's both at Long Beach City College, that's at Long Beach Unified, and that's on our campus. You're making these dreams come true. Our numbers have never been better, despite the fact that we're underfunded, we're not rewarded. All these accolades that Long Beach Unified gets all over the world. Their great thank you from the state of California was to send out 800 pink slips. That's one heck of a thank you. So if they would actually put money where their mouth is and reward the places that work, we'd be doing a lot better. And we're going to insist on doing that. Make sure they do that. But it wouldn't work without the commitment and without the understanding of each and every one of you. These are all our kids. And without our help, without our innovation, and without the stuff that we put on the table and that we make work, whether it's swapping data, sharing data, or just providing new opportunities for many of those teachers who have been pink slipped, who are now on our campus, learning to be math teachers and special education teachers where there are still great needs. We'd be turning away an awful lot of teachers and sending them out in the marketplace with no jobs at all. But that works because we all work together, and I'm here to thank you for being a national model, for being a statewide model, but more importantly, to thank you for the real commitment, which is in the eyes of kids. I see them every day. The kids need our help in this system, and we've got to wake this state up to start talking about investments again, investments in talented children, investments in students, and we're the best example of that. You invest in these children, invest in these students, that's how you build a future economy. Prisons, that's not going to get you anywhere. That's the difference between investment and expenditure. These are investments. So thank you for coming out, and I look forward to any of your questions as well.
I'm looking at the clock, and my job is to make sure we stay on target. And I have exactly 7 minutes to end this on time. We start a few minutes late, so I think we're probably just going to have to skip the questions at this point and move directly to the next part of our thing. So I apologize. I apologize for doing that. But really, the most important work that's going to happen today is going to happen in the breakout sessions and in the smaller groups. And I don't want to take time away. I don't want to take time away from doing that. So with that, I'd like to invite Dr. Greg Peterson, our Vice President of Student Support Services, up to give a brief overview of the Promise Pathways, which is a new program here at Long Beach City College. Sure. We're also going to start collecting clickers. So I know they'd be fun, but I don't think they have any I don't think they have any utility once they leave. So if you'll pass those to the end of your row, we'll have some folks collect them. Go ahead. I'll be your.
Oh, great. Thank you. I wanted to, before we break out and get going, I wanted to share some exciting work that we're doing here at Long Beach City, building upon the work of Promise Pathways. We're really excited about it, and so I'll quickly give you a overview. So Promise Pathways is built upon the Long Beach Promise model. We really looked at creating, as we came together, our vision statement of, we want to create these pathways for all students to enroll, progress, and complete their educational goals. We decided we would start somewhere so we can grow this. So we're going to start with the Long Beach Unified students that are coming to us, that graduate and come to us in the fall of 2012. The phases, so our favorite word is phase, because we have all these exciting ideas as we roll this out. The first phase, we're focusing on Long Beach Unified students coming to us. We're estimated that's typically about 1,600 students, and so we see that a group about 1,600 that'll be participating that first year in our cohort. Our goal is, as we learn, we're going to expand this to more students. So as you see, over time, this becomes the experience for all of our students here at Long Beach City College, and we'll expand the components of this program. So what are the components currently? As we've talked about Long Beach Promise Pathways, we've got a signed participation agreement. We already took this agreement out to our first early bird event. We have 211 students who have already signed the agreement to be part of Promise Pathways. We're going to guarantee courses for them. So the idea is that we know something, and we know what will help students. And if you do what we do, then we'll reward you. We'll give you some benefits. So we're going to guarantee their courses. We're going to front load their English, math, reading courses so they have the skills they need to be successful in all of their courses. We're going to guarantee their courses up for their 12 units, so it's a full-time program. And then as they build an education plan, we're going to help them with that enrollment so they can get those classes on their education plan for the 4 semesters. They can, there you go. So they can complete they can complete earlier and progress on and transfer or go into the workforce. So the courses guaranteed. We also have this student success course sequence we've talked about, which is like a learning. So the learning community in that we'd hold these students together, and so they'd have these students that would travel together through the 4 semesters with the same faculty. So trying to build those networks and relationships. We're also looking at building in peer mentoring, coaching, and other support network for students. And then we're going to help them successfully complete their courses, and then look at ways to celebrate the success and help them as they move through to really acknowledge and recognize the great work that they're doing. So, anyone knows we are, it's a struggle for students to complete, and so what we're trying to do is create these ways to help students be successful and help create the structure that we know will help them be successful. We're really excited about this, and this is I wanted to leave you to give you a sense of the conversations we're having as you start talking tonight. So for the English department, the English department has decided to do a pilot with the Promise Pathway students. So in addition to our AccuPlacer assessment that we use for placing students into English, we have also looked at data that has shown that student grades in their English courses in their second semester of their senior year are good predictors of success when they get here. So we're going to use that as placement as well. So students who get A's and B's in their second semester of their senior year English course will be placed into English 1. And this is going to increase significantly the number of students who are moving right from Long Beach Unified into transfer level English, which is amazing. We're excited about that. The other piece in math, we're looking at exploring multiple factors that seem to also, as we said, that we look at the data, seem to show that they predict well for success for students as they come here. So we're having those conversations as well. So the idea for us is to build on the work that we've done, the great work, especially in English, that we've done with aligning coursework, to see how we move forward, that we can be able to smooth the path for students as they come to us and make those connections. So we're hoping that this will be exciting and get you excited about the conversations tonight as you come together around math and English, or language arts. Yay!
Thank you, Dr. Peterson. We are close to on schedule. It's my pleasure right now to, if you still have clickers, we're still passing those to the side. It's not my pleasure. I'm sorry, it threw me for a second. I'd like to bring up the three facilitators, the three brave women in this case, who've agreed to help lead. So we have Janny Mackay, Eva Bagg, and Wendy Hayes Ebright. So if we could give them a big round of applause, please. We're actually going to go, there are 3 different breakout sessions, 2 for English or English language arts because it was a slightly larger group, and we didn't want you to feel too crammed in a single room. I wanted to make sure there was enough space for conversation. And then and those sessions will be led by Wendy and Eva, and then Janny is taking on the math faculty. So I'm going to turn this over to Janny, and she'll walk through, but don't leave because there are a couple quick housekeeping things.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I just want to say that I know, especially for Wendy and myself and all of us that have been on the college prep committee for 2 years, we've wanted to have this gathering of faculty, and it's great to see it come to fruition. So what we're going to do now is we have some questions that we're going to have faculty answer, and I put all these groups, tried to make sure from Long Beach City, Cal State Long Beach, and Long Beach Unified from the same disciplines so they can have discussions. But I think kind of the unique, and I'll tell you that Judy Seal came up with this idea. Tonight, what will happen is that the faculty will be discussing some ideas, and then we have the listeners, which are the administrators and our counseling colleagues, so that they can listen and hear what the issues are or what we found as great resources, so that when we come back together, we've had a chance to really look at where we are and where we want to be when we work with all these different students. So the way you figure out what group you're in is, for those of you that we had your name on the list and we got a lot of our SVPs, you got a white sheet, and it has your name on it, and then it has small group discussion between 5 and 6:20, and it tells you what room that you would go to. So if you're in the math faculty or other areas, there are some principals in the math area, some administrators, some counselors. It would say T1300, that's going to be the math group symposium. And then you have a group number. And so as you walk in, and this is true in any of the 3 breakout sessions, kind of get to the area that's your number, and as all educators, will move the furniture to get together, okay? Because I know you guys know how to do that. So the math symposium, the math breakout session, go out the front door, you're going to turn to the right, go down the hall left, and you'll see some signs that say that. Then a breakout session in, if it says T1326, you would be in that one, and that would be primarily English. If you're in T1327, it's both English, there are a couple of groups of English, and also we have reading, and we have ELD, ESL in that area. Now, if you checked in and we didn't have your name, you can choose where you want to go, and then we'll get you into the group. But those of you that have an assignment need to follow directions, okay? Because I've got it balanced across all of these. So any questions on how we do this? But the chance to get to talk to people from the different organizations that do what you do. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. You turn to the left for the 2 English areas, 1326 and 1327, okay? And then after that's food, if that's what you're going to.
Yeah, I'm gonna give our facilitators a chance to head out. So we'll give you a little bit of a running start so you can go. So if Wendy, Eva, and Janie want to head out, couple quick logistical items. We are missing one clicker. So we are missing one clicker. I promise you, it's not useful once you leave here. It won't work once you get home. So I'm sure we'll find it. But if somehow it got set amongst your things, just turn it as you go back. There's also when you checked in, you should have received a half sheet of paper. We want everybody to take the time to put your name, the institution, or email here. We want to be able to keep in touch with you. We will be emailing out a survey at the end of this so you can give us some feedback about how effective this is. Also, really to try and prioritize the work that you all do today. So this is really important information for us. And again, these will be collected as you leave today. We have presidents, ambassadors, students in black shirts. So please fill that out legibly. Somebody actually has to be able to read what you've written to make it useful. The final thing is the key outcomes we're looking for today. There are really two things. We've asked a series of questions, and that's really to prompt you to set priorities for the work of the promise over the coming year. We want you, the faculty who know best what's happening in classrooms, to come up and help strategize and prioritize the work. So in your group, think about the strategies, the things, the priorities that can be done, and that's one of the outcomes. The other outcome is this is a kickoff to work that will happen over next semester. So we want you also to help make some suggestions about times where you might be able to get together again if you're interested, and where we can bring the rest of your colleagues who aren't here tonight and give them an opportunity to continue to participate in this activity over the spring. So we'd like to hear some suggestions from you. And again, your facilitators will help work through this in your group. I just want you to know heading in what we're hoping to have after that. And then again, we're going to roll all this up and send you an email so that you'll have a clean sort of compilation of all of this. So again, it'll be a second attempt to prioritize and set priorities for the three institutions and the 4 initiative groups going ahead. And then on that, for the next hour and 20 minutes, be a lovely dinner for everyone who has time to stay across the hall. And we're asking folks to stay within your groups at this point. Part of the purpose of this is to build connections across institutions. So you get to see your colleagues at work every day. This is your chance to spend some time with colleagues from across the 3 institutions and to share a meal with them, so that hopefully you'll want to continue to work with them. And when you think about what's happening in high school, you'll have a face to put with that. And when the high school folks are thinking about what's happening in the higher education institutions, you'll have a face with that. And more importantly, maybe you'll share information with each other, and you'll build colleagues and friendships that will sustain beyond this. So you will be grouped at dinner. There will be assigned seats for you, so your small group will be together. The one thing that changes is while the small group and the breakout session really is faculty-directed work, once you get into dinner, the principals will peel off and the administrative folks will be together so we can talk about the work that we have to do at dinner. And we'll have a separate place where the counselors and advisors can get together and talk about their work. And faculty, you'll have a chance to be alone and talk about the rest of us or whatever else you want and enjoy the dinner. So I know that was a lot. Are there any questions? Are you just dying to get out of here and stop listening to me? That's okay too. All right, so with that, again, when you find the missing clicker, please turn that in, turn in the other stuff, and we'll see you in an hour and a half for dinner. Thank you all. Go, sit right here. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yes.